I'd like to call the order of the Finance Committee meeting for August 10th at 5 p.m. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Attendance roll call.
Alderpersons Kubaki,
Here.
Madden,
Here.
and Wolf,
Here.
and Mayor Pitfalski.
Present. Thank you.
We have a quorum present.
Thanks. Statement of public notice.
This meeting was noticed in accordance with the open meeting law.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes from July 27th, 2021.
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. 2020 audit presentation. Hello.
Right have to turn that, there's a, yeah.
Is it on? Yep. All right. Well, thank you for having me here this evening. My name is Wendy Younger. I'm the partner responsible for the City of Muskego's audit. What I put in your place is a one-page handout. I will use that to go through the other two documents that were part of your packet, one being the audited financial statements and one being the reporting and insights document. I will go through this at a very high level, take a couple minutes to hit some high points. If you do have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll do my best to address those. So the first item I've noted on the summary is our audit process. Our audit process starts with preliminary field work, looking at the various internal controls that exist at the city. Once we do that evaluation, we prepare our audit plan and implement that audit plan during our final field work, at which time we validate the various accounts that the city has. We review the financial statements that Sharon and her team prepare, and then ultimately meet with the Finance Committee to share those results. Included in your audited statements, the auditor's report that we've issued is a clean, unmodified opinion, highest level of assurance that you can obtain from us as your auditors. That unmodified opinion means that the financial information is believed to be materially accurate, that all the disclosures that are required to be included have been included, and that generally accepted accounting principles have been adhered to. Before I begin with some high-level financial information, just want to touch on the other document that we issue is the reporting and insights document. That document really accomplishes a couple different purposes, allows us to communicate any comments or recommendations that we might have from the audit process, also allows us to have some standard and customary communication that we need to have with you, those charged with governance. Included in that letter at the very back is some information that's titled two-way communication. I encourage you all to take a look at that at your leisure. Really solicits your input for the upcoming 2021 audit. Looking for any questions that you may have or areas of concerns or things that we need to perhaps modify our audit approach as we go into the next audit cycle. Included in there, again, some other comments and recommendations. Just one item to note, there will be a new governmental accounting standard, or GASB, that will be effective for the city for 2022. It is regarding leases and how those are handled in the financial statements of the city. So we will work with Sharon and her team to make sure that you're in a position to implement that. There are other GASBs listed there that I don't believe will be applicable to the city. The required communication section of that report, again, nothing I need to draw to your attention. Again, we evaluated the internal controls. All of those were functioning as we would expect. We received full cooperation. There were no audit adjustments as part of the audit process. Again, a very clean audit process. I do want to just thank Sharon. Again, we did another year as a virtual audit, hopefully our last. But again, thank you for all the extra effort that goes along with having to do everything electronically. Switching to the financial highlights, again, just a couple items I will note. Included in your audited statements that were part of your packet, there's a portion in there on pages 3 through 12. That's the management discussion and analysis. Encourage you to take a look at that. That's a Cliff Note version of what's happened at the city for 2020. Does some comparative. It's prepared by management, so I encourage you to take a look at that. Also, within your audited statements, there's a couple schedules that are government-wide financial statements. These are not statements that are prepared in the same accounting methodology that you prepare your normal day-to-day funds of the city. So again, I just referenced those pages. Those are full accrual accounting. Again, not something we'll get into, but those schedules in total show a $5.7 million increase in net position for the city during the year. That looks at both your governmental funds and your utilities. Reason for that is the city paid down over $7 million of debt during the year, had very little, had about $3 million of new debt. So that $5 million of pay down brought that fund, that net position back up by that roughly $5.7 million. Next item I've noted here is the general fund. Again, I've highlighted the page in the report, just a couple things to note. Very favorable results within your general fund for 2020. Your revenues came in over budget, keeping in mind that you did receive a $406,000 through the routes to recovery money that under the CARES funding. So you had some additional revenue you didn't anticipate at the time of budgeting. Also, all of your functional areas within the city in your general fund were under budget. So when you look at your general government, public safety, public works, all of those came in under budget, and they were all under budget collectively over $500,000. So overall, when the city budgeted for 2020, you budgeted to break even, add nothing to fund balance, and ultimately added $485,000 to fund balance for 2020. I will, in a moment, touch base on what the actual fund balance was in the general fund in a couple points. Water and sewer activity, both of them showed a positive increase in net position for 2020. Sewer had actually had a decrease in net position in 2019 of roughly 1.2 million. You were positive this year by 770,000. Reason for that, some additional RCA connection charges that were collected. You also had capital contributions that flow through your income statement from developers for the various projects that were going on within the city. Likewise, water utility also saw an increase in net position of 1.5 million. That's roughly an increase of $1 million over the previous year. Again, the main reason for that is capital contributions from developer, but also both utilities saw an increase in your charges to customers. There was a rate increase effective for both of them, 1/1 of 20, so you saw a full year of additional revenue there. Long-term debt. Extensive footnotes that highlight the long-term obligations of the city. In total, $44.5 million of long-term debt. $40.3 million of that is general obligation debt, which includes both the city and the utilities. The city had $2.3 million of compensated absences. This is accrued vacation and sick time that is included within your long-term obligations, and then a smaller OPEB liability of $627,000, and that's the city's participation in the local retirement life insurance pool. So one thing to note, just to mention, the city has the ability to borrow 5% of its equalized value. That equates to roughly $173 million, almost $174 million. You had $40 million of general obligation debt outstanding. So your borrowing capacity as of 12/31 was $133 million. That is what you would be able to borrow under state statute. Lastly, the last item I've noted here, again, the fund balance, just in, there's some pages in your footnotes that highlight the various fund balance portions of each fund. Just want to talk very quickly on the general fund. Overall, the governmental funds of the city for 2020, which would not include the utilities, saw a decrease in fund balance in total of roughly $430,000. However, as I noted previously, your general fund saw an increase in fund balance of over $400,000. Your debt service decreased by $1.2 million. Your TIFs had decreased by $804,000. But the important thing to note is, again, your general fund saw an increase in fund balance of the $400,000 and $85,000, had $7.7 million of unassigned fund balance as of the end of the year. Keep in mind, you have a policy for that amount to be 17% of the subsequent year's budget or higher, and you are at roughly 47%. So end of the year, very positive in your general fund, which allows you the flexibility to do what you need to for projects and that type of activity. Last item here, I have included my direct line and my email address. I go through this very quickly, but I am happy to talk with any of you in more detail about the audit process, the audit results, the financial statements, or anything else for that matter. But I'd also be happy to answer any questions you might have now.
Does anyone have any questions? All right. Well, if you do, you have your contact information, or Sharon can answer some questions as well. Thank you.
I just have a comment. I want to thank Sharon and Jenny. Wonderful job on the audit. Great job.
All right, moving on. License approvals. Recommend approval of operators licenses per the attached list.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. Recommend approval of amended license premise for AJ's Bar and Grill on Boxhorn Drive to include the grass area immediately surrounding the patio and outside dance permit as follows. Tuesday, August 24th from 5 p.m. till 8:30 p.m. Sunday, September 12th from 12 p.m. till 3 p.m. Sunday, September 19th from 3:30 p.m. till 6:30 p.m. and Sunday, September 26th from 3:30 p.m. till 6:30 p.m.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. New business. Recommend approval of a memorandum of understanding for the Muskego Norway School Resource Officer Program, and that memo is attached.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. Voucher approvals.
Move to approve utility vouchers in the amount of $90,341.94. Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Move to approve tax vouchers in the amount of $3,319.31. Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Move to approve general fund vouchers in the amount of $822,781.59.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Move to approve wire transfers in the amount of $367,890.22. Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Finance Director's report.
Just wanted to point out a few items. First off, the redistricting process has begun, and staff will be bringing forward the tentative boundary plan sometime in October for final approval by council on November 10th. Second, just a reminder that we're transitioning from 3 to 2 installments for tax collection purposes, and this will be effective with the 2021 tax roll. Lastly, there's really nothing out of the ordinary to report for the second quarter operating results. All departments are within the budget. With exception, we did receive 50% or $1.3 million of the American Rescue Plan award. And at this point, we have it held in a contingency account until it's decided how to utilize these funds, which will have to be decided by December 31st of 24. We'll have to incur
Of
the cost.
2024. Yes.
Thank you.
Any questions? All right. Motion, any other communications? Otherwise, a motion to adjourn would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned at 5:15.